All right, here we go. Deep sampler 2. Oops. Bam. All right, so this is the plugin side of things. Now you can see connect to the Audialab engine, which we have down here. Shows up right here. This actually has a new menu, but I'm still waiting on the build. But for today, we're going to show you with this. So as you can see here, it says connect to Audialab engine, which we now have running in our menu. You just click connect and it connects. The first thing you have to do is in your settings, you want to set the folder for your models. So there's a base folder, then there's a model type folder, which now only supports stable audio. It's abbreviated for ease of use. And then you have your models inside there. And inside each model folder, you have your checkpoint or save tensor and your model config.json. Model config.json has to be labeled just like in the original repo from Stable Audio Open. So you set it to your base folder for your models. It should automatically create that for you. And there, you're good to go there. You can download models from Hugging Face using the downloader as long as you're connected to the hub, which you kind of need for everything. From there, let's take a look at the interface. So you have model type, again, only supports stable audio right now. You have your model selector. You have your steps, your seed, CFG scale, max length. So this will be like your start and end time that you would have in your prompt conditioning. And then up here we have a little BPM syncer, which you can sync to your DAW and set the length of bars and beats and 16th notes that you want the sample size to be, which, as many of you know, is different than the ending seconds in the prompt conditioning settings. So you could have, a 1 bar loop or a 1 bar 1 shot, let's say. And if 1 bar is 2 seconds, but your sample is going to be 1 second, it helps the model not add extra artifacts on top. So you can still get your 1 bar size. You can pop it in here with the drag to DAW, which it's got no samples, so it's not going to do anything. And it'll, Ableton will quantize it and all that. So you can do, basic generation stuff. The first thing it does is load the model, loading the model. There's this nice little stop generation button, so if you have like 100 steps going and it's taking fucking 5 minutes, you can hit stop generation and it'll cancel it when the next step starts, before the next step starts. So models take a minute to load. It's good to check on your activity monitor and check the RAM and see how usage is going. You can see it's still loading the model. Come on. It takes about 10 gigabytes of memory, and then generation adds another 1 or 2 gigs. So here we go. So now it's loaded the model and it's switching to inference. Just wait a second here. There we go. Now we got the percentage going. This is based on the steps because fast doesn't use steps. It uses an error calculation thing. It won't be totally accurate. You'll get super excited when you see it hit 20% and just finish. When it's done, it sends the sample back to the plugin. It's a 1 second violin loop. You can turn that up and get an actual loop. Obviously it doesn't need to load the model this time because it's already loaded. There we go. For the rest of it, you know, I might just switch to fast, make it simpler. Although you guys all know generation stuff, I'll just show you the init audio stuff, just so you can see how it works. And bam, now we got a 1 bar loop. Play it with the breakbeat, so that actually sounded kind of dope. Oh, I put 92 BPM in there, my bad. Anyways, let's switch it to 140 and we'll do an init audio sample. So we could grab, for instance, this one is actually at 80 BPM. Cool little sample. Click stop, which is nice. And yeah, so this is, I believe, an 8 bar loop at 80 BPM. It might be 16, but it doesn't matter. This should be good to go. Oh, and we're using fast, so it's nice and fast. We got a little flute sample, so you can just drag that into the DAW. Oops. Preferably not on a MIDI track. And there you go. It's all quantized because you set the amount of bars that you want. You set the BPM. The BPM is going to be in the title because the title of the sample is the prompt. And Ableton will just automatically warp it for you to 140 BPM. It might double time it like Ableton does. The last thing to show you, we did the settings. There's a stop button for this one, and then the stop button here appears when you click play. Finally is the library, so you can see all the samples that you've generated with each model. Each model has their own folder. You can click it, load it, drag it onto the DAW. Bam! You also have a volume knob here. Nice. Works on both of them. Alright, that should be it. Peace.